Hey everyone, Felipe here. Welcome to another Tower of Saviors GNN news review. This time we're going to be talking about the new Black Gold card that just appeared, which is going to be featuring the Mad Head spokesperson Hei Jiajia. And I've taken a look at it, and this card is absolutely insane. So without further ado, let's get started. As every Black Gold card has, we have the usuals, 40 draws for guaranteed ones, and buy 30 get 30 free. But what we're most interested about is going to be the leader, team, and active skills of this card. So starting out, we have the leader skill, and just from the get-go, this is an amazing skill. We have a elf, Hei Jiajia, and water member, attack times 100, HP and recovery times 4, and that is already by itself amazing and super useful for current teams. Elf teams and water teams haven't seen much play recently. There are some pretty good teams like Joy Miku and other elf teams out there, but we haven't seen like a really powerful one just yet. So having a black gold card of these archetypes is going to be really good for the meta and for your inventories if you decide to pull for her. She has also an additional 1.8 attack bonus, as well as a combo increase of +6 if you have elf or Hei Jiajia members in your team. So as a leader skill, this is a really good skill, just because baseline stat, it gives you so much. 100 times is amazing, and it helps you just destroy a lot of things. And having elf and water as your condition, it actually gives you a lot of flexibility because you can run mono elf rainbow team, or you can do mono water, or you can mix and match and add utility as you seem fit. So really good leader and very flexible in terms of team building as well. However, her team skill is also kind of dumb, but in a good way. She has a lot of things, so this is really broken and really stupid. We have a lot of staples like extended runestone movement time, skill cooldown reduction of -8 after entering the stage, an unconditional attack bonus increase, shield breaks, so fixed combo and puzzle shield. We have race runes every round. We have tumbler, unconditional tumbler as well. You do not have to be at full HP like most elf teams, or most tumbler teams require you to be at full HP. You do not need that for her. You will also not have your active skills locked, which means you never have to bring any release skill, which frees up one utility slot in your team, and in my opinion, that is very good. Sticky burning and smog is nullified, runestone possession effect, so all these are very staple and pretty standard for a black gold card now. However, the next one, this one is the one I'm just like, wow, this is the first time any card at all gets this type of utility, and that is nullifying undissolvable runes. And if you've been playing the new Calamitous stage, you've encountered a lot of undissolvable runes, and there are actually a pain in the ass in my opinion. And especially when you mix it with full board dissolve, it basically just makes it really hard for you to beat the stage, because unless you have a way to get rid of all undissolvable runes, you cannot break the enemy shield because you cannot dissolve the entire board. Also, undissolvable runes ends up being the biggest weakness of a lot of teams in the meta if the enemy blocks the thing that you're most like you're attacking runes, right? For example, if you're running a tomb team, fire block and light block will just straight up kill you. Joy Miku dies if you have a water block. Luca, like Sorrow Luca, not Sorrow Luca, the other Luca. If you get light block, you die. Scatnatch from the new Machina series, if you get earth block or fire block, you're going to die. So undissolvable runes is actually one of the biggest weakness of certain teams out there right now. But the fact that you can just straight up ignore it with this card is actually insane, especially when we see later one of her active skills gives you guaranteed sky drop. You don't have to worry about undissolvable runes at all. But yeah, so honestly, never seen before skill, but I mean, it's actually really broken. But yeah, we also have Intimidation. So if you remember back to the Hikaru no Go series, it is a debuff on the enemy that makes them take more damage. And it makes sense because Hei Jiajia is also a Go player, so the Hikaru no Go team skill applies to her as well. We have Single Dissolve and Hyperstate for Hei Jiajia members, and cooldown reduction if you dissolve 30 or more runes of one type. But yeah, you also have a craft skill that gives you Time Tunnel. So a passive Time Tunnel without having to bring any team members' active skill for that is also really useful, especially because this craft skill is not limited, because a lot of craft skill consume one charge of your Gigantic Compulsion. However, this one will just consume the power of it without consuming a charge, which means that as long as you can build up your craft again, you can activate it as many times as you want. So having Time Tunnel on demand is really good, and you're not subject to Hypnosis, Windswept, cooldown reset, and things like that, because you can just go ahead and activate your craft straight up. So this is really good in my opinion. Also, you can generate you can generate a full board of whatever you want, which also triggers your -1 cooldown reduction on your Hei Jiajia team. But yeah, and then Hei Jiajia members have a stat boost. So honestly, very focused on Hei Jiajia team members, but having elves and waters at your disposal also gives you an amazing pool of utility and members for you to beat most of the stages in the game. But yeah, honestly, as a leader, I think she's very powerful. Lots of flexibility, lots of utility, and broken team skills, in my opinion. So definitely a good leader to invest if you don't have an elf leader or a water leader right now, which I feel like many newer players may not have. But yeah, moving on to her active skills, they are also insanely broken, and I do think I will be using her as a member in the future as well, because these skills are just really, really good. First up, we have Boundary Breaking. So adding 3 rows of runestones at CD4, that's just insane. That's just stupid, honestly. Protagonists have CD6, Chaos has CD8, and we don't have any elves with Boundary Breaking. So Hei Jiajia being an elf with Boundary Breaking makes her the only elf to have it, which means if you have a 31 or more number rune, she is going to be able to fulfill that role for you, which is honestly stupid in my opinion. I hate that enemy shield, because like if you don't bring a boundary break, then you cannot get around it at all unless you know. But yeah, but CD4 boundary breaking with extra attack and shield break potential, honestly that's just really, really good. So at CD4, that's just insane. So first active skill, really, really broken. Second active skill, also stupidly broken. And oh, it makes me mad because it's so tailored to the Calamitous stage that is out right now. It frustrates me a little bit because, you know, that stage is hard. But with Hei Jiajia, it's going to be a breeze, a walk in the park. It's not gonna be a problem at all to just clear it with it. Which means people are gonna buy it. But anyways, second skill is CD6, and here's the magic of it. Like the first effect, we'll talk about it later, but it gives you the ability to overpower all enemies, which increases your damage from 1.5. Pretty standard thing, like extra stuff. Character self-attack increase of times 6, which is a very good self-attack bonus. First and second batch of guaranteed skydrop of your choice, which is really, really good. Lynx has been used a lot recently. Khaleesi from Battle Cats having the guaranteed water and guaranteed dark is also really good. And you also ignore scorching areas and get a cooldown reduction, right? So these are all really, really good skills, especially at CD6. This is really good. Actually, this is just CD5 because You can activate, you get a free -1 cooldown if your leader is a water member or a Hei Jiajia member. But yeah, CD5 skill for these effects by itself, that's already pretty good. You know, I would slot in a CD5 for overpower, guaranteed skydrop, and scorching area nullifying. Especially the scorching area nullifying, because those scorching areas are actually quite painful. But yeah, but the first part of this skill is the part that is stupid. You know how for certain teams or for certain stages you need to bring a certain control skill to deal enemy damage to the enemies? For example, they have to be electrified to receive full damage. They have to be frozen in order to be to receive full damage. And here's the thing: Madhead never added more than 2 of these enemies in a stage, because that would require you to have 2 team members specifically dedicated to inflict these status conditions, or just like destroy the enemy by brute force. But with this new Calamitous stage, you have seen the absurdity of adding multiple control skill damage reduction enemies in a stage. Basically makes it really hard, because like no reasonable team can inflict that many different status at once. And some races don't even have certain status conditions. For example, Eclipse. Eclipse is not available to the entire roster of attributes and races in the game right now. So having this skill give you the ability to access all status conditions at once in a single active skill is absolutely insane. It basically consolidates all the roles into one and allows you to just slot in one member to inflict all your status condition needs, right? And there's no condition. You can just put her in any team that you want that can have her, and you can inflict these status conditions on your enemies. So you can freeze, ignite, petrify, electrify, eclipse, and stun, which are the 6 that actually matter in the game. And these are the ones needed to clear the Calamitous stage right now, which it is going to be a walk in the park with a Hei Jiajia team. I'm saying it right now before she even releases. But yeah, that's I'm done with my rant. Her active skills are amazing now and in the future. CD4 Boundary Break and CD6 Choose Your Own Status Condition and Scorching Area Ignore. Yes, please. I'll take it any time of the day. And yeah, so honestly, if you get lucky and get her, congratulations, you deserve her. But if you're just like most of us and are considering whether you should spend your diamonds on her or not, honestly, from all the things I've seen, I would say she is worth the 40 pulls. She is very worth the pulls. All 40 pulls, all 200 diamonds of them are very worth for her. Is it worth the other 39 cards that you're gonna get along the way? That I'm not sure. But here's the thing, right? Whenever a card releases that has the utility that is unique to the combination of race and attribute, it is always a good idea to have it, because you never know when you're going to need a boundary break for elves. Like for example, right now, the most common boundary break is protagonists and chaos. But because the newest Calamitous stage only allows you to bring god, beasts, and elves, protagonists are out of the question. So every single team, and I mean every single team that you see clearing the Calamitous stage right now, has chaos in it. So if you don't have chaos, luckily he's a free-to-play card, But if you didn't have chaos, this stage would be impossible for you. Now imagine if we're only able to bring else into a stage and it has a condition like this one, it would be absolutely mean because this is a black gold card and you cannot expect everyone to have it. But you would want to have it just to be able to clear that stage easily, you know? So in my opinion, I do think she is worth the 200 diamonds because of her active skills, the ability to choose the status condition as well as having a CD4 boundary break is actually really good in my opinion. And she also gives you a very good leader for the current meta and it is going to allow you to clear a lot of the stages very easily because she just deals so much damage and has the flexibility of building up with her team members. And because she has so much utility built into her, you can bring buffers, like for example, I don't know, Paperwhite, Daji, and stuff like that, that helps you just basically buff your damage to insane amounts. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say about her. So let's get going with the GNN news, which honestly, it's the most important thing was the black gold card. But yeah, we have a new ultimate stage card, which is also a water elf Hei Jiajia member. So actually works very well with Hei Jiajia black gold card because she does not break quinta elemental shield. So this one will help break duo, trio, quartet, and quinta elemental shield, as well as give you, that utility, especially because Hei Jiajia does not have that, and it also reduces your recovery to 0, which is really good, especially with recovery inversion enemy skills out there. So this is definitely a card that you have to get if you are planning on if you're planning on getting black gold Hei Jiajia, then Trailing Tears Hei Jiajia is a must get from the ultimate stage. We also have a new challenge stage. This is a water human water human member, and her active skill is actually okay. I'm not particularly a fan of bubble burst type of active skills where you store your damage for one round and deal it the second round, because I would rather kill everyone in the first round rather than storing it, Although it's stored, yeah, this might not be bad. Um, because it releases the stored at the end of the round, and it's regardless of defense. So for example, in the Calamity stage, dude had like, I don't know, 3 trillion defense or something like that. So if you can ignore that, then it helps you deal with that. But that assumes the damage dealt. Damage dealt is before defense calculations or after defense calculations. So your damage dealt is also not going to be that great. So overall, this skill is situational at best, but may potentially see use here and there. We also have a new Dragonware from the POS Battle Pass stuff, or actually no, the shop cards. Not a bad thing. CD -2 after entering the stage, really good. And extra runestone movement time of 2 seconds, which is actually pretty significant in my opinion. And a new challenge, June challenge, because the month is about to end. So yeah, that is going to be it for this GNN news review. I am really excited to test out the new black gold card. And I am really excited to just destroy the new Calamitous stage because it was a pain to just beat it with the cards that I have. I mean, Battle Cats is still pretty tailored for it, but this team, Hei Jiajia, is absolutely going to demolish that Calamitous stage. And I am all for it, and I am really excited to do that. But yeah, that is going to be all for me. Please let me know in the comments if I said anything wrong or if I missed out on anything. But as always, stay safe and stay... Actually, no, wait. But as always, stay tuned on my YouTube channel for more Tile Saviors content. But for now, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye, everyone.
生活与它相遇，召唤出惊喜，让生活充满乐趣。歌剧迎来最初旋律，大师的初心，感动永远铭记。